Okay, so Mod Hooli has announced some information about the Sanctum of Rebirth release. We're going to read the Reddit post and then we're going to talk about it, and we're also going to talk about what chat has to say, if they have any opinions on anything that I read in here, as well as if they have an opinion on something I say. So let's dive into this. The day one content experience and how we're rethinking some of our communication. Hey Scapers, Sanctum of Rebirth releases later this month, but how we do our usual full reveal of the content will be a little different than usual. Given we've been in such a week before tell all reveal rhythm for a while, I wanted to make sure we let you know our plans and run you through why we're doing things this way. So here it is. While we'll be confirming the release date for Sanctum of Rebirth this Monday, we're planning to provide a less detailed look at the content before release than you might be used to. Wait, so they're releasing the date on Monday? Well, there's not very many options, is there? You know, if they say the 29th or the 22nd, I'm gonna be sad. But the fact that they're saying a week before, I'm a little bit worried. You like it? Okay. I'm just a little bit concerned that they're going to release it so late into the month. Like, I don't want to keep waiting and waiting. I understand that they have to make sure that the content is good and it's right. But, like, I'm at the point now where I'm sick of waiting. Please just give me the content. Less info, the better. Okay, why do you think the less info, the better? Going blind? Yeah, that's a fair point. I guess it means people can't start trying to, like, plan strategies and stuff early. You want to discover the content for yourself. That's fair. Alright, let's move into why they're saying this then. Why? Over the past few years, we've really been packing our content reveals with as much information as possible. While that's awesome for theory crafting and getting prepared, there's a feeling we might be stripping the magic of day one a little out of releases. When we think back, some of our most memorable releases have involved a mix of enough upfront information with the room for discovery on release. Those memorable releases are the ones where players are the experts. You uncover the secrets, you provide the solutions, and you share the first screenshots of those before unseen areas you just discovered. Okay, that's a fair point. There's also great examples from the past that makes us want to try this, like Next AOD, which had undisclosed drops that the community got to discover and have a communal holy crap moment together over. Okay, you know what? I like this bit. This is a good idea. Having undisclosed drops, that's a cool idea. Now, obviously, all content is not equal in terms of what we should leave to discover, but ultimately, we do think we might be killing a bit of the excitement of discovery with how we've done things, and we think Sanctum is a great time to try something different. I agree. Surprise drops is great, 100%, I do agree with that. I think having surprise drops would be really, really good. Instead of just knowing everything that's coming straight away. Like, I think we need to know that, like, there's going to be 3 new bosses. We need to know it's going to be like a dungeon. But, like, we don't need to know all the drops. We don't need to know, like, yeah, I get it. A change in detail, not transparency. All of this mention of change is only relative to our usual full reveal we usually do around the Thursday before release, i.e. stream, blog, dev diary combo. This is a bit I really want to stress. This means absolutely nothing for right-click examine, betas, or anything else that we would do to involve you in feedback. We're committed to going even further on involving players in development, not backwards, and we'll never limit the benefit of that for the sake of day one. That comes first. Okay, good. Good. Very good. We will still announce comprehensive roadmaps for RuneScape well in advance, followed by right-click examine blogs setting the stage for content releases, opportunities in various forms to provide feedback, and then a follow-up on what we've taken from that. Okay, good. Very good. They better keep this up. Like, with everything that they've been doing since they released the roadmap, they've been given a decent amount of, like, just communication and taking in some feedback. The change here is simply relative to the level of detail you get close to the release date. Instead of a tell-all blog and stream, we might give the need-to-knows. We might tell you some key rewards, but not every single one. Essentially, it's all about keeping some sense of discovery in each release. This isn't something we felt comfortable about trying before, but now we're opening up a lot more on our content during development. We hope this feels like a change in detail rather than transparency. Yeah. You know what? After reading it, I can understand it a bit more. After actually, like, reading it more, then yes, I actually agree. And also with what you were saying, chat, like, just going in blind, discovering it yourself. The surprise drops being great. I do agree. I think it actually is a good idea. And with it also starting on an update that I'm very excited for, Sanctum, I actually think it's a good thing, to be honest. Obviously, Sanctum is going to be such, like, it's going to be the biggest thing, right, for every PVMer this year. It is literally the biggest amount of bosses we're getting. We're getting a massive boss dungeon with 3 bosses, I believe, if I remember. I'm pretty sure it is 3. So I think it makes sense that, like, with it being such a big content drop, it makes sense that they've decided to introduce it now. So they actually even have a section, Why Sanctum of Rebirth? Let's read what they say. Quite simply, boss releases are pretty secret anyway. If we want to see how this affects the day one feeling, this feels the right kind of release to test this out on. It's worth mentioning this is not a Sanctum of Rebirth specific idea, but rather a first try in what we hope is a better way to communicate content releases. Yeah, that's fair. I think it's a good tiny explanation, to be honest, for that part. What if I rely on the detailed decide to play it with it or not? Well, don't, bro. You shouldn't rely on a blog to play. Disregard everything they say here, right? Literally blur this out. Just try the game, bro. Like, if you play RuneScape, just try the content. You shouldn't decide on a blog post of all the detail whether you try an update. And if you do, then I'm sorry, but it's your own fault if you miss out on content. The one thing that's important, like, the roadmap and stuff, we know that it's coming. We know that we're getting bosses. We know that they're getting the new tier 95 weapons. Even that alone, that tiny bit of information, that there is enough for me to want to play the new update. Right? You don't need a massive blog of, right, this is happening. Like, bro, just try out the update. Okay, now I'll actually read what they're gonna say. We very much want to communicate enough to give you a feel for the content, who it's for, what makes it exciting, the rough edges of what to expect. If you need the full picture to make a decision, you'll get a more comprehensive look on release day, a detailed blog, a dev diary, and so on. We'll have a dev stream at some point in the week too, and of course the community itself will be a great resource. We're just creating some space for the community to dive into the content and discover things together. It's all a question of timing. Okay, I mean, just play the update. Like, just play it. What if this way sucks? Okay, fair. It absolutely might. At least they're honest, right? At least they're honest. There's some awesome examples in the past where it seems to have been a big hit with the community, but that doesn't guarantee anything. We're going to be looking at a lot of things. Does it increase or decrease awareness of release? Do you feel it makes release more or less exciting? Does it invite more player experts guiding others or more opaque releases for less experienced players? We also might not apply it universally to the same degree either. Mining and smithing is a good example of this. Our RCE gave a relatively deep example of that content to show what we mean by skilling updates, so there's not much point being vague around release. It's also a clear example of where you'll put the need for player feedback first over preserving day one discovery. So that's it. A bit of Hooli Classic for it to be such a wordy explanation, but it felt like it deserved it. How we talk to you is important as the content we're releasing in many respects, so we want to involve you. I'd love to hear your initial thoughts, and after Sanctum of Rebirth releases, how you feel about it retrospectively. We'll definitely be looking to learn from this and just find the right balance, or over time move away from it if it doesn't feel right. Okay, chat. Opinions? Anything you want to say? We'll actually upvote it because I kind of like the idea. Honestly, overall, I think their whole reasoning actually makes sense. Like, them literally saying it's just more of they want to make the first day discovery worth it more instead of just detailing everything in a post before the content is even in the game. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, to be honest. It's definitely worth them exploring this, and I think them doing it with a boss release first actually works out really good, because obviously, like, when you go to a boss, it'd be kind of cool to see the more exciting stuff that comes out of nowhere, I feel like, instead of just always knowing everything. You like it a lot. Credit to Mod Hooli for keeping us in the loop. Absolutely, I agree. It's a great idea. 100%. 100%. I actually think it is a good idea. So let's hope that we actually get some kind of cool secret things that come with the Sanctum as well, because I think that's also like the thing about it as well. There's like more room to, I guess, for the community to come up with ideas of what like the secret hidden drops could be, for example. If there are super rare cosmetic rewards for hard mode, you'd love that. Yeah, that's fair. Would be dope if it dropped bonds. Alright, calm down. We all know that ain't happening. I wonder if they keep off the beast tab. What, like, in the collection log, do you mean? Like, would they keep it out of it? Like, it'd maybe just have a question mark or just a blank slot. I think that would be a good idea, to be fair. The other thing that we've seen that actually hasn't been revealed in any way, which is probably the part they're going to keep secret, is they mentioned something about Sanctum having a reward, an item, or a way, I don't remember which, to where you can push weapons past tier 95. And I haven't seen any information about that at all in any way. Exactly, the less information the better. Yeah. Ideally, I'd want them to release a dungeon and tell us absolutely nothing about it. Yeah. You've been waiting on those upgrades, the tier 95 upgrades. Should be fun when it comes out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, obviously, like, we know what's coming for the tier 95s. We know that they're doing that stupid fucking damage over time bleed shit. You should already know my opinion. I think it's a shit idea. It's the worst fucking one they could have picked. It's stupid. Yeah, true. We don't know what the spec is. That is true. And we also don't know what the upgrade past tier 95 is that they mentioned. We just know that something about getting past tier 95 with something. And what interests me the most as well about the item that's going to push weapons past tier 95 is what weapons can it actually push past that tier. But yeah, that's it on the front of the article. I've kind of mentioned everything that I'd like to, I think.